Hello everyone, Alex here from alexlancer.com, and in this tutorial I would like to show you how we can create custom columns in our auto-generated table. So far all of our columns are somehow related to the columns in our database that we have. But let's say that we want to display some custom output, not just the raw value of each column in our table. So what we will be creating in this tutorial, this is the example. So as you can see, we have an image column where we display the actual image that we have uploaded. And also another example is a simple calculation that we make comparing the two dates that we have for our projects, the start and the end date that we already have in our form, this one and these two fields. So we will compare them, and depending on the result that we will get, we will be displaying the corresponding output. So again, as always, let's start by going to my GitHub account. So GitHub Alex Lancer. Let's go here. Let's navigate to the repositories, library tutorial files, and download the part 5. So click the download button. Okay, show in folder, extract it, and open the folder. So as you can see, there are not many files, just 2 of them, and one of them is an image file. So open up your project and let's start with the simple stuff, just by throwing the profile.png image inside of our public folder, admin assets, and image folder there, where we keep all of our assets files for this project. So where is my folder? Here it is. So I will throw it inside there. Okay, that's it for the profile image. And of course, let's update our CRUD core.php file. So I will open it inside of the Visual Studio Code. I will select all, Ctrl C, and I will go to the libraries folder. We'll open the project's CRUD.php file, select all, and Ctrl V to replace everything. So regarding the CRUD core.php, we are done. We can close it. Close also the one that we have downloaded. So leave the projects open. Also open the crud.php file, because this is the file that we will be working today also. So let me check something only. Yeah, so I'm closing this folder also, and I'm checking out my helper files here that I need also to save us some time. So let's go back to our projects.php controller, and let's go up. So at the very beginning, actually not the very beginning, in the index method, we have this line here where we define our columns. And so far, all of our columns were defined just by typing the name of the column that we want to display. So now what we can do is we can actually define an array of options in a following way. So I would like to get started with sorry, I will close the example that I showed you. I will close the other tabs too. So I would like to create, after the tags column, I would like to create a column where I will see how many days I still have for each and every project in our table. So let's see how we can do that. First of all, we will go to our project's columns inside the index method, and after the tags we will say that first of all we will open the square brackets to define an array, and as a first parameter there we will define the label for our column. So let's say label, and once we define the label, let's say this will be days left. Let me bring this, so how to make it to look better. Yeah. So I will bring each column that we have on its own line. So now the column days left, we will define a second parameter here, that is the callback parameter. So the callback is actually the name of the method that will be used to display the information that we want inside that specific cell. So let's say callback, and now you just pass the name of the method that you want to create. It can be anything, but I will prefix it with a callback, although it is not required. So let's say days left. And that's it for our projects.php. Now we have to create our callbacks, our callback days left method, and we will create it inside our crud.php file. So we will create it inside our crud.php file because, as I said, the crud_core file is the core of our library. Where is the callbacks that we could create for our custom needs will be placed inside of our crud.php file because they are only related to this specific project. So let's go and do so. And let me see, did I copy it? No, I did not copy the name. So I will take callbacks day left, public function callback days left. So all of the callbacks that will be created, that will be used to display the information inside of our columns, will accept one parameter, item parameter. So the item is actually all of the values of the current row that we have from the database. So now you don't need to specify it anywhere else, so just inside your callback custom method that you have created. So once you have created that, you can say, so if we want to create a date difference, to measure actually the date difference, I have prepared here also one helper function that I will paste it here. Okay, so it is simple 4 lines of code, and here above we will say that we have days equals this days item. So now we have item, and we specify the column from our database. So let me open the database also to help you with the field names. So if we go here, I'll go to our CRUD database, and inside of our projects table, let's go to structure. So as you can see, we have p start date and p end date. So I will calculate the difference between these days in days as a measurement unit. So we will say this days item. Actually, sorry, let's not create the difference between the dates. We don't need to know the length of the project, the total length, although we can also do that. But let's see from the difference in days, how many days left until the end of the project. That would make more sense, I guess. So let's say p and date. Okay, so now let's say if days is less than 0, then let's generate a new variable out for output, and let's say span class text. Okay, so what have I done here? Awesome. So span class text success completed. So if the days are less than 0, let's consider it a completed project. And also let's close the span tag. Else, let's say out equals our, again, a span tag. No need for a class, and we will say just days, so the days that we will get back from this method here. Let's also add days left and close the span tag. Okay, and now we just return the output. So let's see what will happen to our projects table. If we refresh, we can see the days left, and all of them are actually completed. So the reason for that is simply just because our database was automatically generated. There were no restrictions to the starting date being always a small, let's say, smaller date than the end date. So what we have ended up in our test database is that some of the end dates are really old, and they are actually earlier dates than the start dates. So just to show you that our method actually works, the custom callback that we have created, I will change the date to, let's go to 2000, let's go to 21, for example. Let's say August 18, that will do fine, update, and let's go back to our project. So as you can see now, days left for the project number 1 are 433 days. So this is just a very simple example. And another example, as I promised to you in the beginning, I want to show you is the image, how we can display an image file here that we will be pulling from our featured image that we have uploaded in our previous tutorial. So if you remember, the featured image is the field that we have under our projects table, and it is the p_image. So as you can see, it is really straightforward. We go to our project. Let's add a comma at the end. Let's copy this line and bring it just a little bit higher so that we display our image before the name. So it is here. So before the name of our user. So for the label, we will say image. For the callback, we will say callback featured image. Okay, so I will copy the name of the method that we want to create. Again, we go inside of our crud.php file, public function, the shortcuts are not working today very well. So public function callback featured image. Again, we pass the item inside. And now what we want to do is we want to check if there is actually an image uploaded. So how we will do that? We will say that our source equals to item. We'll create a shorthand for the if statement. So we will say item and arrow p image. So if there is an image, we will create our uploads. Let's check the URLs that these images are being saved. So I will inspect this element. And all of our images, all of our featured images are stored under Uploads and Images folder. So this makes our life easier. Uploads, images, and then we pass item p image. Otherwise, we would like to load the profile.png image that we have copied inside of our admin assets folder. So it is admin assets img profile.png. So semicolon at the end, and let's return an image tag. Let's put it inside the quotes. Image source equals double quotes, single quotes, dot dot. Put inside our src variable that we have created, and also let's give it some styling. So let's say style. Of course, you could use your style sheet, but just for the sake of the tutorial, to make it a little bit more fast, I will add a width of 54 pixels. So don't ask why 54 and not 55 or 60 or 50. And as a class, we will add an image circle. So let me see. Yeah, everything seems to be in place. Let's go back to our projects, and here you go. We can see, of course, no other users don't have an image uploaded, so let's test it. Let's go to another user, featured image. Let's upload our avatar 3, update, back to projects, and here you go. Your image is now being displayed. So let me change one thing that I just noticed. And actually in the previous tutorial, I wrapped it up a little bit quick. So we didn't actually check if the images were uploaded. Of course they were uploaded, but I never showed you that indeed everything was stored in the database properly and all of the images were uploaded in the corresponding folder. So I will show you that also now. But first, let's go to our projects. Let's go quickly to our field options. And here where we have created not the single image, so not the featured image, but the project files image, we didn't change the label first of all. So let's say project files or just files. Let's name just files. That's the first thing. And the second one is of course inside of our uploads folder, images. So I'm talking about these files here, where they, if they were uploaded successfully in the previous tutorial. So here they are under ID1 because we were uploading them to the project of ID1, and here are the files that that have been left because some of them were deleted, if you remember. So with that out of the way, I want to show you just one more thing. So as you can see, days left column and image column are not searchable, and not all of the fields meant to be searchable, although sometimes you want to make them, you want to give the ability to your users to search for some fields. So you can define also if the field is searchable by providing the column name that you want the specific input to search for. So for example, let's say that we still want to use the image name as a searchable term. So we will go back to our projects controller. Let's go here to our options for this column, and we have the ability to pass two fields. So the first one is, let me check. So the first one is the search itself. So we say search, and then we define the field, the corresponding field that will be responsible for this search term. So let's say p_image. As you can understand, it can be any field from your from this table that we are creating the CRUD for. So p_image, and the second one is optional. You can define the type of search. So for now we have only two types. So the one is the text, the simple text input, and the second one is the date. So in case you want to create a date field, you will say search field type equals date. So again, let me bring everything like that. Let me push it a little bit like this. So yeah, let's make it, I don't know, let's make it like this better. Yes. So by default, if you will not specify it, it will be a text field. Otherwise, you can specify either date, either text. Of course, for this specific column, we don't need date. We can use a simple text field. So if we refresh, nothing happens. Did I save it? Yes, it is saved. So search field type. Let me comment this out to see if this helps. Okay, so let me check what is going on here. So we have the search, that is p_image. We have the search field type, that is text. Oh no, it's not under the tag, so labeled. Okay guys, so I'm creating it in a wrong, I'm creating it for the days left, right? So I will remove it from here and I will add it to our image column. So now, as you can see, let me just push everything just a little bit. So let's save this and refresh, and as you can see, now our image field, our image search field is available here. So I know that the name of the images are starting with the avatar, so avatar, and we will get back these two fields that actually have the avatar in the file names that we have uploaded. So this is a short tutorial in compared to others that I have uploaded, and that's basically how you can customize your table as per your needs. So these are just basic examples. As you can see, you can do absolutely anything with your calculations or customization for your fields. So share your ideas in the comments. If you have any issues again, or if you find any bugs, also please let me know. And see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye guys.